Scissor, really weak to fire, but other than that, it doesn't have any other weaknesses, and it can be subbed in for a lot of different attacks. Like for instance, he's immune to poison, and he resists steel and a few other different types too, especially like grass. So it's good to switch in for that regard. In that regard, I maxed out his attack stat and his hit point stat. He's got the Technician ability, so that boosts moves that are 60 power below. I put Aerial Ace on him because I just wanted to use him to do a couple sword dances and then have a move that would for sure hit, like Aerial Ace. And then of course there's X Scissor, then Quick Attack. If I had Platinum, I'd get Bullet Punch, but it's not out in the United States, so I can't do that yet. And then the next Pokemon is just another Salamence. But it's a different build. It's a wild card build. It's Modest Nature. You max out the special attack stat and the speed stat, and then you switch him in. He's especially good versus a physical wall, because there's a lot of physical walls that might be weak to Flamethrower or Hydro Pump, and so it catches him off guard because they think you're going to use Dragon Dance. So if you hit him with a Flamethrower or a Hydro Pump, you can oftentimes lay out certain physical walls like Donphan or like Hippowdon or Skarmory. So it's just kind of a fun one to make, and it might be useful sometimes. Here's Staraptor. Pretty sure I got a 31 speed gene on this Pokemon. He's Jolly Nature, or she's Jolly Nature. Max out the attack stat, max out the speed stat. Speed is around 328 at level 100, which is okay, I guess. But certainly there's other Pokemon that are better. Has Close Combat, Brave Bird, U-Turn, Quick Attack. Intimidate ability is great because it cuts the attack stat of any Pokemon, of course, except for ones that have Hyper Cutter or Metagross's ability, Clear Body. But it can be a decent, useful Pokemon, but not really overused too much because it's not that great. And you don't see him as much anymore. And there's Bronzong. I made this guy because just to kind of be annoying. He's got Leftovers on, that's the item of choice. I gave him Calm Nature but maxed out the defense stat, so he's got good defenses in both ways. Really high defenses, actually. And I maxed out his hit points. What I did is I just put Iron Defense, Calm Mind, and Rest, and then Flash Cannon. Because what you do is you max out Iron Defense and Calm Mind, and attacks just can't do anything to this Pokemon. I mean, he'll just sit, and it would take literally 20 turns to kill him if I didn't use Rest. So he can be really annoying, and he's actually pretty good in the Battle Tower. I would suggest maybe putting a Tyranitar in front, and then a Bronzong, and then maybe something like a Gengar that can use Destiny Bond for certain Pokemon matchups, or just to have a good special sweeper with Life Orb. But he's good because, I mean, he's so hard to kill. They have to get lucky with a critical hit or with a good switch if he's already on the battle table. And if, of course, there's a sandstorm out, he can be really a pain because when he's doing his moves to power up his defenses, the sandstorm is hitting them. So he's still doing damage. If you think about it, there's still damage occurring despite him not really doing any damage at all during those turns. Here's Mamoswine, Choice Scarf. It's a typical build. His ability is not as good as the other alternative. I just liked his genes, so I trained him. Oblivious prevents a Pokemon from being infatuated, so that means that he can't, of course, be infatuated by a Pokemon of the opposite gender. Get the better ability is Snow Cloak, especially if there's a hail out, because he can avoid a couple attacks. Usually, he's likely to avoid a couple attacks. Here's a Bomb of Snow. Really weak to fire, I understand that, but if you have like a 3 versus 3 ice team, he's kind of fun to put in your team, because he has the ability Snow Warning, which sets a hailstorm into effect during the battle. And then he's got Protect. Protect is just to make sure that they don't use some powerful move. And you can use it especially versus a computer, because the computer is going to use the same attack on, multiple times as he's trying to kill you. So you protect in the first turn, see if Obama Snow can handle it. If it can't, then you switch him out to someone who can, if your team's designed like that. And then of course, Wood Hammer is pretty useful versus water, and especially like a Swampert. And then Blizzard. I have Blizzard here because in the hailstorm it's always going to hit, and it does a ton of damage. Put Naughty Nature because it subtracts from special defense and adds to attack. I didn't want his defense stat to suffer, so I just took some away from his special defense. Remember, his speed's not really that great. I maxed out his hit points and his attack. The next Pokemon is a Gyarados. It's overused, I understand. It's Adamant Nature. Still, it's an effective killer. It has attack stat maxed and speed stat maxed. Waterfall, Ice Fang, Earthquake. Oftentimes people use Stone Edge instead of Ice Fang. I like Ice Fang more because it can rip up on grass Pokemon switches. Because Waterfall and Earthquake aren't good versus grass. And a Flying Dragon or a Dragon will get really torn up by an Ice Fang. And a Waterfall won't hurt a dragon at all. An Earthquake doesn't hurt anyone that can fly, so I like Ice Fang more than Stone Edge. It's also more accurate too. Here's an Electivire. Jolly Nature, max speed, max attack. He's got a good gene for hit points. He's got a 31 gene for speed, which is good. Typical moveset: Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, Earthquake, Cross Chop. The way you can get, by the way, if you want to do this legitimately, if you actually care, the way that you get all these moves on one Electivire is, well, you have to basically train up I think it's a Hitmontop or something like that, or Hitmonlee, and get the Thunder Punch and the Ice Punch, and then breed it with Electivire. I think that's how you do it. Another way you can do it is you get Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness for a GameCube, and then one of your quest rewards is a Elekid that has all those moves. It has the Ice Punch, the Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, and Cross Chop. Here's a Gliscor. Not that great of a Pokemon if you ask me, because he's super weak to Ice, of course. He's also weak to water. But he's got Hyper Cutter, so his stat won't be lowered for any reason, which makes him kind of useful. He's got Earthquake, Ice Fang, Thunder Fang, and Swords Dance. He's great for switching when you know that someone's going to use an Earthquake or a Lightning move, and just try to hit him hard, or even use a Swords Dance. Shedinja. All you need with this Pokemon is just to breed a Pokemon that has 31 attack and a 31 speed gene, and everything else can really suck, because that's all you need. Just a Focus Sash and his ability Wonder Guard. You use a sunny day if they have a hailstorm out, or